Okay, great.
Okay, can I get your name?
My name is Josh Fogel.
What do you do?
I'm a professional photographer.
What drew you, when it comes to photography, what would you say drew you into shooting?
I've always loved photography as a medium, even as a kid taking pictures, obviously not in any serious way, but when we would go to either a museum or a gallery, I always was always drawn to photography. I studied photography. I knew photographers. I just felt like there was something very organic and very authentic about photography. Now, that's not always the case, as we know. But I had an older brother who had a band, and I had a camera, and so that meant I got to be the photographer.
Okay, what a when did you first start shooting?
I mean, I've always taken pictures. I have a I have this thing where I'm not great with timelines. It's just not how my brain is wired. So having photos of my life and in my life helps me kind of keep track of when things were, and that has been really useful. And now, later in life, it's great to look back and have this archive of where I've been and when I was there.
Um, can you give me can you give a little information on what type of photography that you shoot?
Sure. I do lots of ad work. I shoot beauty and fashion. I've done celebrity portraiture. I've done documentary work. I've done lots of travel work. But it's all people based. While I have shot food and still life for certain clients, and certainly I did in school, the majority of my work is centered around people.
Okay, why people? What drew you into shooting people?
What I really love is the interaction. Any portrait shoot is a collaboration. I get to interact with an individual, sometimes someone I would have no other reason to cross paths with, sometimes someone from either a different lifestyle or a different place that I had never been, and we get to come together as human beings and create something new.
Okay, you've obviously done this professionally.
Mhm.
Um, if you say if you didn't pick up photography,
Mhm.
what would you see yourself doing um, if you didn't ever pick it up?
I mean, I would still be taking pictures. I don't know. I mean, if I wasn't doing it professionally.
Yeah.
So before I did this, I worked in television production and I did some film work. So I assume I would have continued to do that. But I'm so happy with my choice. I have my wife, I have my kids, I have a house. Like I have all of those things, everything good in my life, my core group of friends because I work in the photography world.
Okay. What would you give to if you had to give advice to anyone who's starting to be a photographer or wants to? What would advice would you give?
That's a good question. Shoot, right? If you were asking someone if they wanted to be a professional basketball player, the one common thread is that they would have to be obsessed with basketball. Practice, play, watch, um, eat, sleep, and dream basketball. And photography is no different. You have to practice and really understand that it's a craft and learn your craft, learn the tools that you need to create the type of images that you want. And shoot, shoot, shoot. Decide where your passions are. If you are passionate about still life, then shoot still life. If you're passionate about food, shoot food. If you're passionate about dogs or cars or any of those other things, create opportunities where you get to photograph the things you're passionate about.
Okay. With photography, there's obviously photography and videography.
Hmm.
That's where what could you what is videography? If you can
What
give
is
if you
videography?
can give an example.
I mean, videography is capturing motion as opposed to in a single frame,
Hmm.
right? I
Hmm.
mean, we know what videos are, we know what movies are, YouTube. I don't do a lot of motion work. I've shot music videos, I've shot commercials, I've done a few fine art things just as passion projects, but my work is really focused on the still image.
Okay. Okay. And my last question:
Mhm.
with photography, with AI and stuff, people think AI is gonna start taking jobs away, which um, obviously it is. With photography, should photographers be worried about AI and what it could do to their careers?
I think there are definitely some photographers, some threads and genres of photography that will be heavily impacted by AI, commercial work included. I think AI is an incredible tool that, when paired with actual photography, can can create really interesting and useful imagery. There's some people whose jobs will be taken. Like if you work in the catalog or e-com world, a lot of that eventually I think will be taken over by AI. I think there will always be a want and a desire both by audiences and by brands for the authentic. I think that there are some brands who will commit to the human aspect of photography, and that's what keeps me motivated. It's why I haven't gone out and gotten my real estate license or, gone to do something else.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you.